Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Sit down, please. I'd like to speak English today too, to improve my speaking skill. Let's get it started. Today, it is June 10th, 2023. It's on Saturday. How are you spending Saturday? Is it a day off for you? Or do you have a school or job? It depends on your schedule, isn't it? I feel the happiest on Friday's night because Saturday and Sunday used to be my holidays. I used to feel the happiest on Friday's night because Saturday and Sunday were holidays, day offs. And I used to feel the saddest on Sunday's night, thinking about the job from Monday, lasting until Friday. Nowadays, I'm a little into arranging my garden and preparing for summer, like by doing such things as cutting trees, removing weeds, grasses and so on. Nowadays, I'm focusing on cleaning. Do you have a faith in something religion? Do you have a faith in something religion? Like Buddhism, Christianity, and so on. Faith in nature, faith in Shintoism, faith in Buddhism. The temple built on the steep cliff in the middle of the mountain shows how strongly people in those days had the faith. The temple built on the steep cliff shows how strongly people in those days prayed and had the faith. When he lost a lie, when he lied a lie, I told a lie, I lost faith in him. When he told a lie, I lost a faith in him. When he told many lies, I lost faith in him. 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 The corruption became the decisive reason why I lost the faith in him. The many lies told by The man led to me losing faith in him. I lost faith in you. I lost faith in you. Telling a lie will be one of the causes someone will faith lose in you. Telling a lie will be one of the causes. Which someone will lose faith in you. Telling a lie will be one of the causes which someone will lose faith in you. Lose faith in you. Telling a lie is one of the causes which makes someone lose faith in you. I lost faith in you. I lost faith in you when you told many lies. I lost a faith in him when he broke the promise. He couldn't keep a word. He couldn't hold the promise, keep the promise. When he broke many promises, I lost faith in him. I lost faith in him. I lost faith in him. He broke our secret promises. I lost faith in him. 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 All of the employees in the department can be faithful to the direct boss, but not the CEO and executives. Some people tend to be faithful only before their performances, by going to a shrine and so on. Are you faithful or not? As we get older, we might be more faithful. As we get older, we might get more faithful. 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 I need to be more faithful to the music sheet so that I won't make mistakes. My music teacher told me to be more faithful to the music sheet, looking at the music sheet more carefully and listen to the sound which is played by me. Because my playing sound tends to be very rough, coarse. I remember I could be faithful to only the subjects which I'm interested in. I remember I could only be faithful to the subjects which I am interested in only. I remember I could be faithful only to the subjects, academic subject, which I am interested in. I remember I could be faithful only to the subjects which I have the interest in. Faithful. My grandmother is very faithful, visiting ancestors' grave. Definitely. To show respect the ancestors. My grandmother is very faithful, visiting ancestors' grave frequently. Definitely. Absolutely. My music teacher often told me to be more faithful to the music sheet, sound, and so on. My music teacher often told me to focus on the sound carefully, more carefully. My music teacher often told me to focus on the sound which is played by me, which was played by me more carefully to improve the sound. My music teacher often told me to be faithful to the sound which was played by me and focus on look at the music sheet more carefully so that I wouldn't make mistakes. Faithful. Faithful. Are you faithful to a music band? Are you faithful to a music band? Yes, I am faithful to a music band, but I will not tell you my favorite band. And there are some faithful to the influencers, and they obey what the influencers say, and so on. Faithful advices, faithful approach to the problems, faithful attitude, faithful assistant, faithful. Okay, I will introduce my faithful assistant to you. Okay, I will introduce my faithful colleague to you. He will be in charge of you while you are here. The faithful to the band. 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 The faithful to the influencer. Claimed in front of the entity building. The faithful of the celebrity claimed against the sudden detention at the airport with no evidence at all. The faithful, the faithful of the celebrity claimed in front of the building of the entity. The faithful of the celebrity claimed against the illegal treatment of him. The faithful of the band, the faithful of the band, the faithful of the band are said to be more than 1 million. The number of faithful to the band is numerous. A lot. Many of the employees in my department can be loyal to the direct bosses, but not the CEO and executives and board of directors. I will see how strong you have the loyalty by the length of service. If you are loyal to me, you will follow me forever. If you are loyal to me, you will follow me forever. So let's see how strong you have the loyalty to me. Are you loyal to your boss? 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 Are you loyal to your parents? All of the employees in the company are loyal to the CEO for a reason. All of the employees in the department are loyal to their direct bosses. All of the employees in the department are loyal to their direct boss. All of the employees in the department are loyal to the section-in-chief and general manager. All of the employees in the department are loyal to the general manager. All of the employees are loyal to the department chief. All of the employees in the department are loyal to the general manager, chief section-in-chief. I will see how strongly you have the loyalty to me by the length of service. If you are loyal to me, you will follow me forever. I'm loyal to studying English. I'm loyal to studying English. That's why I've been studying English for a long time. I've never changed my mind since when I was 12 years old regarding the policy of studying English. Since then, My way of thinking regarding English was definitely different from that of others in my class and school or around me. I'm loyal to studying English. I've been loyal to studying English since I was 12 years old. I don't study just for entering university and so on. I've been studying English for my life, for using it in the society. So the study never ends. It's forever. I've been loyal to studying English since when I was 12 years old. I didn't study just for entering university examination and so on. I've been studying English for myself, using in the society and so on. My music teacher often told me to look at the music sheet faithfully and reproduce the sound as it is written on the music sheet first. After that, arrange myself. Faithfully. The museum faithfully reproduces the atmosphere and scenery from the old days. The museum reproduces the scenery from Meiji era faithfully. The museum reproduces the scenery and atmosphere of Meiji era faithfully. The reproduced houses from Meiji era are attracting many tourists steadily. The buildings built in the museum faithfully reproduce the atmosphere and the scenery from Meiji era. Faithfully, 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 faithfully. Faithfully. I will make the promise faithfully. I will carry out the mission faithfully. My music teacher often told me to play the piece faithfully by focusing on my sound and looking at the music sheet carefully, so carefully. Faithfully, faithfully. Work on the duty faithfully. If I could restart my life again, I would work on my study more faithfully. I wish I could restart my life again. I would work on my study at school more faithfully. More faithfully. My music teacher often told me to play the piece faithfully and carefully. Faithfully, 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 faithfulness, faithfulness, faithfulness. Faithfulness is more valued than speed of the work sometimes. Faithfulness is sometimes or frequently assessed more than the speed of the work. Faithfulness is more emphasized in my department than speed. Faithfulness of the duty is more valued in my department than the speed. Faithfulness of the work is more emphasized and evaluated more than the speed of the work in my department. Faithfulness. 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 Faithfulness to the work. Faithfulness to the duty. Faithfulness. 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 Faithfulness to the duty. I cannot have the faithfulness to the duty which I am not interested in, so I really should respect those who can have the faithfulness to the duty which they are not interested in. Faithfulness. 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 faithfulness, 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 faithfulness to everything. I cannot have the faithfulness to those which I am not interested in. Who can trust such faithful people? Faithless, faithless people. Faithless. I find those changing their minds over and over again faithless, faithless, faithless. Who can want to leave the duty to faithless employees? Who can leave the important and responsible duty to faithless person? It can be very risky. Who wants to leave the important and responsible duty to a faithless person? Faithless person. Who wants to leave responsible and important job, duty to faithless person? Who wants to leave the responsible duty to the faithless person? Faithless. Faithless, 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 faithless. Faithless, faithless. The faithless employee is often be late for the workplace and often take longer lunch break than limited time. Faithless. Who wants to leave the important and responsible duty to the faithless person? Who wants to leave the responsible duty to the faithless person? Faithless, 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 faithless person, faithless person, faithless, faithless person, faithless person, faithless person, faithless person, faithless person, faithless, faithless, faithless person. Who wants to leave the responsible duty to the faithless person? How dare you could leave the important and responsible duty to the faithless person? Faithless. Who wants to leave the important and responsible duty to the faithless employee? Faithless. 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 Faithless attitude of the person. Faithless. 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 Faithless personality. Faithless character. Faithless personality. Faithless character. Faithless employee. Faithless person. Faithless person. He was ultimately labeled faithless person. Faithless employee. Faithless. How faithless you are by neglecting the duty. Faithless students who are sleeping during the class. Faithless students who are sleeping during the class. I, I, I tended to be faithless in the classes which I am not interested in. I tended to be faithless when it came to the subject which I am not interested in. Studying is as sacred as prayer for me. Books are as sacred as prayer for some people. Textbooks are as sacred as prayer for some people. Sacred. Sacred ritual. Sacred precincts. Sacred compound. Sacred precinct. Sacred grounds. Studying is as sacred as prayer for some people. Studying is as important as eating vegetable. Studying is as sacred as prayer for some people. Sacred. I sometimes find a piece of sacred writings in the drawers of the hotel room. And it is written in a very difficult words, which difficult to understand. So I could hardly understand it. So I could hardly make heads or tails of it. Sacred writings. Have you read the sacred writings? Have you read 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 sacred writings? I sometimes find sacred writings in the drawer of the hotel room. But I cannot next to understand it. I cannot next to understand it. I cannot make heads or tails of it. Have you read sacred writings? 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 Hardly had I started to read the sacred writings when I stopped reading because of the huge amount of the pages and of course with difficult terms. Scarcely had I started to read the sacred writings before I stopped reading because of the huge number of pages. The ritual performed secretly, on schedule, secretly, 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 secretly. Secretary, 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 secretary. Secretary, secretary. The shogun is enshrined in the shrine secretly. The ritual was performed secretly. Tokugawa Ieyasu is enshrined in the Toshogu Shrine sacredly. 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 The ceremony was conducted sacredly. The sacredly stored treasure was made public for the occasion. The usually sacredly stored some treasures were made open to the public in the museum for occasion. Special occasion. Sacredly, sacredly, sacredly. Sacredness. I felt the strong sacredness which is beyond the description at the summit of the Mount Fuji. So I want you to feel the sacred atmosphere and awesome view from the top, which is beyond the description, which cannot be transmitted by pictures, sound, picture, and so on, which cannot be transmitted at all. You can only feel the beauty from the top of the Mount Fuji. Sacredness, sacredness, sacredness. I felt such huge sacredness in the middle of the mountain. Sacredness. I felt sacredness in the Mount Koya. I felt sacredness in the Mount Koya. I felt sacredness in the shrine. I felt sacredness in the compound of the shrine. I felt the sacredness on the grounds of the shrine. I felt the sacredness on the grounds of the shrine. Sacredness, sacredness. The sacredness has been kept in the grounds of the shrine. The sacredness has been maintained, kept on the grounds of the shrine. The torii gate at the entrance of the shrine is believed to be the barrier against evil spirits. Evil spirits. Sacredness, 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 sacredness. Sacredness, sacredness, sacredness. Sacredness. I sometimes feel like feeling the sacredness and go to the sacred place, such as Mount Koya and so on. Sacredness. I sometimes feel like feeling the sacredness. On occasion, I feel like feeling the sacredness. Occasionally, I feel like feeling the sacredness. With time, the popularity will fade. The boom for tapioca juice faded. Boom will fade with time. Everything will fade with time. Nothing will last forever. Everything will fade. The popularity of the comedian faded. As the battery faded, the strength of the light got dim. As the battery of the flashlight faded, the strength of the light got dim. As the battery of the flashlight faded, the strength of the light got dimmer and dimmer. Fading. Let's wait for the fog and mist to be faded. Let's wait for the fog and mist to fade before our departure, because it can be dangerous. Fog and mist in the expressway prevented us from driving, so we drove carefully with low speed. As the ambulance went far away, the sound of the siren faded. As the ambulance went far away, the sound of the siren faded. As the ambulance went far away, further. As the ambulance went further. When the ambulance went further, the sound of the siren faded. As the ambulance went further, the sound of the siren faded. As the ambulance went further, the sound of the siren faded. As the ambulance went farther, the sound of the siren faded. And as the ambulance went farther, the sound of the siren faded. As the ambulance went farther, the sound of the siren faded. The rainbow faded with time. The sparks of the firework faded with time. The sparks from the firework faded. My memory tends to fade so quickly. what I memor what I have memorized uh, are apt to fade so quickly. Is there any strategy to prevent that, to stop that? What I have memorized tend to fade so quickly, Fade, fade. Popularity will fade with time. It is cautioned that direct sunlight will fade the color of the product. It is warned that direct sunlight will fade the color of the product. So it's better to put the product away from the direct sunlight. It is warned that direct sunlight will fade the color of the product. It is warned that the direct sunlight will fade the color of the product. So it's better to situate the product away from the direct sunlight. It is advised that direct sunlight might fade the color of the product. So please put the product away from the direct sunlight. Thank you. Negligence will fade the flowers quickly. I'm good at fading the flowers quickly. If it had not been for proper maintenance, the flowers had already been faded. Had it not been for proper maintenance of the flowers, they were faded. They had been already faded. If it were not for proper maintenance of the flowers, they would be faded. Negligence at the proper maintenance of the flowers will fade the flowers quickly. Negligence at the maintenance of the flowers will fade the flowers quickly. Negligence will fade the flowers quickly. Negligence will fade the flowers quickly. I will ask the botanist the reason why the flowers were faded so quickly. Maybe I should have added extra fertilizers. But I was watering the flowers definitely, steadily, every day. I might have watered too much. I don't know. As the ambulance went further, the sound of the siren faded. As the ambulance went further, the sound of the siren faded. As the play went further, the Tokyo Sky Tree Tower faded from my view. As we went further from the Tokyo Sky Tree Tower, it faded from my view. The sparks from the fireworks faded with time until they dropped on the ground. Years of use faded the jeans, which made the color of the jeans much better for me. Years of usage of the jeans. Years of usage faded the color of the jeans, which might be loved by some people. Worn-out jeans might be cool for some people. Worn-out jeans might be cool for some people. Some people might prefer worn-out jeans. Negligent at maintenance of the flowers faded the flowers. Negligence at the maintenance faded the flowers quickly. Negligence at the maintenance, such as watering, giving fertilizers and so on, faded the flowers quickly. Negligence at the maintenance faded the flowers. Negligence at maintenance faded the flowers quickly. It is warned that the direct sunlight will fade the color of the product. It is advised to put the product away from the direct sunlight, as it can fade the color of the product. It is advised that the owner of the product should put it away from the direct sunlight, as it fades the color of the product. Years of usage faded the color of the product. The color of the product shows how many years I used, how long I used. The color and the appearance of the product shows how long I used it. The appearance and the color of the product shows how long I used it. Years of usage faded the color of the product. Years of usage faded the color of the product. Years of usage faded the color of the product. Years of usage faded the color of the product. Years of usage faded the color of the jeans, which might be cooler for some people. Years of usage faded the color of the product, merchandise, goods. Only a week of usage faded the color of the t-shirt. Washing the t-shirt in the washing machine faded the color of the t-shirt. Washing in the washing machine faded the color of the t-shirt, unfortunately. Negligence at maintenance, such as watering, giving fertilizer, and so on, faded the flowers quickly. Negligence at maintenance will fade the flowers quickly. Negligence at maintenance will fade the flowers quickly. Negligence at maintenance will fade the color will fade the flowers quickly. In no time. Soon. Negligence at maintenance will fade the flowers quickly. It is warned that direct sunlight will fade the color of the product. It is warned that the direct sunlight will fade the color of the product. The movie ends with the fading out of the scene. Some movies end with fading out of the scene. Fade out is one of the outcome of the movie. Fade out of the scene. Fade out of the scene is one of the ending scenario, ending technique. As we went farther from the Tokyo Skytree Tower, it faded out from my view. As the ambulance went further, the sound of the siren faded out. As the ambulance went further, the sound of the siren faded out. As the ambulance went further, the sound of the siren faded out. Popularity will fade out. Popularity will fade out. Popularity will fade out. The sparks from the fireworks faded out until they got to the ground. The sparks from the fireworks faded out until they got to the ground. Do you believe in the legend? There used to be Jugon in the street. Do you believe the legend that the princess drank all of the water of the lake to maintain the beauty? Legend. Do you believe in legend? Legend. Do you believe in the legend that the princess drank all of the water of the lake to keep the beauty? Legendary story, legendary famous story, legendary famous story, legendary story. Legendary story. Do you know the legendary story that the chairman of the company got angry at the picture of the girl and some other engineers because there were no other employees in the pictures. Legendary. Legendary story. Do you believe in legendary story? Legendary character in the myth. Legendary creature in the myth. Legendary myth. Legendary creature. Legendary creature. Legendary creature. Legendary. Legendary. Legendary creature. Phoenix. Is Phoenix one of the legendary creatures? Is Phoenix one of the legendary creatures? Legendary. Is Phoenix one of the legendary creatures? Legendary. Nothing is more evil than ignoring. Nothing will be more evil than ignoring. Ignoring might be the most evil thing. Ignoring, disregarding will be evil more than any other thing. Do you think so? Do you suppose so? Do you presume so? Do you assume? Do you suppose so? Evil. Don't speak evil of others behind their back. Don't speak badly of others behind their back. While you were speaking badly of him or her, the person might appear in front of you. What will happen? What if they appeared in front of you? While you are speaking badly of a person, and if the person appears in front of you, what will you do? How do you react to him or her? While you are speaking evil of someone, and the person appears in front of you, how do you react to him? How will you react to him? How will you react? While you are speaking evil of someone, and the person appears in front of you, how will you react? How will you react? How will you react? I think many people are speaking badly of others behind their back. I think many people are speaking evil of others behind their back, which is not good. Don't speak evil of others. Don't speak badly of others. While you were speaking evil of a person, he or she might appear in front of you. How will you react? What if the person appeared in front of you while you were... What if the person appears in front of you while you were speaking evil of the person? What if the person in front of you, what if the person appeared in front of you while you were speaking badly of him or her, while you were speaking evil of her or him? Evil. We feel evil when we do something wrong. I felt the evil aura from him today. I felt something evil from him today. I feel evil from the cloud today. Torrential rain seems to strike the region soon. I feel evil from the dark cloud over there. Torrential rain is going to strike the region. It seems that the torrential rain will hit the region soon. I feel evil from the dark cloud. Torrential rain is expected. Heavy rain is going to... Torrential rain is going to strike. Torrential rain is going to strike. Torrential rain is going to strike. Evil. When I like to express evil in sound, which technique can I use? Can I use a minor sound? Unfortunately, my performance can be evaluated evil. Your performance left nothing to be desired, but only a few percent of the audience seats evaluated you evil. But don't care. It's nothing. Feet can be evaluated evil if the person who don't know the field at all evaluates. Nobody speak evil of the artist somehow. There is no person that nobody speaks evil of him or her. There is no person who nobody speaks evil of. In my generation, getting low score used to be evaluated evil. Getting low score was evaluated evil. In my generation at school, getting a low score on the test was evaluated evil. Getting low scores tend to be evaluated evil in schools. Getting low scores on tests are inclined to be evaluated evil. Getting low scores on examinations at schools are apt to be evaluated evil. Okay, I will finish speaking here. Thank you for watching. See you next time. See you.